Good morning. Welcome to my Tour Divide daily update. This is day 12 and we've got a winner. So let's get over to track leaders. And so Victor, he's finished. Finished about 10 hours ago from recording time. Ahead of Robin's dot. Robin's dot is that fast time from last year, still going along. So yeah, it's going to be about 10 hours off that unofficial record. But as there's been no forest diversions or anything like that, Victor is now the 2026 Tour Divide winner and the outright Tour Divide record holder. 11 days, 8 hours, and 37 minutes. It's it's pretty incredible, really. I never saw that one coming, if I'm honest. Not before the start, anyway. After Robin's lightning time last year and almost perfect conditions, I didn't think we'd be seeing that record go, or that unofficial time go. But yeah, there it is. Victor is the official Tour Divide record holder and the 2026 winner. I just think it goes to show now, across bikepacking, the level's just going up, and times are changing. I mean, we've already got a couple of people above, Angus and Lawrence and Xavier at the moment, ahead of that lightning time of Mike Hall, which has been chased for so long, and now it's just been absolutely smashed. And I guess Robin opened the floodgates as to what's possible, and Victor's doesn't really seem to put a foot wrong. It just goes to show that a strong rider, with good conditions as we've had this year, like really favourable, really good, like winds, very, very little snow and hiking, like minimal. A bit of wet on the first couple of days, but not enough to really slow anyone down too much, at least anyway. And yeah, a strong ride like this, and Victor's just been able to ride really strongly, really efficiently, and he's so strong that he's able to, get to the resupplies and towns and stay in a hotel every single night and recover well, and that just compounds and makes it even faster. So I guess this is at this pace, it's gonna be, how the Tour Divide is ridden, I think. However, it was a very good year. If there was some rain and mud and you get out of sync with resupplies, then it makes it a totally different ball game. But yeah, you got to have the luck on Tour Divide. It is a weather lottery. Victor's incredibly strong, and he got the luck. So congratulations to Victor. Further back, so Lawrence. He's still holding that second position. It looks like the podium positions are fairly fixed now. We'll hear from Lawrence and Angus later on. I've got a couple of voice notes, and to be honest, I think everyone's just feeling it. I mean, you will be, after 10 days or so. Lawrence, he's dropped a bit back off the pace of the older record of Justyna Slawejka. Looks like he's in Pie Town. You can see here. I suspect he's in the Toaster House, which is kind of like an open house, really, kind of like a sort of a hostel in Pie Town. There might be a bit of food there, but there's certainly water and there's certainly a bed. Angus, Angus is just like sleeping anywhere at the moment. I mean, Victor's been staying in hotels every night, and this is what happens when you get out of sync. Angus he's been bivvying pretty much most nights for the last 2 or 3 nights. He's just ended up in the middle of kind of remote areas, and yeah, he's roughing it. So it's not. I think a lot of people have shown dismay that Victor's just able to basically time trial between hotel and hotel, but I think one big storm somewhere could have slowed him by 6 or 7 hours, and then suddenly Victor's having to sleep out, and things do get a bit slower. So Victor's luck was in, and he was strong enough to capitalise on that. So I don't think it's all despair that the Tour Divide is going to turn into a hotel time trial. But yeah, at the moment, the pace they're riding, or the pace Victor and Robin are riding, and the spacings on the divide mean that is kind of the scenario. But I think if that time's going to drop even more, don't know if it's really possible at the moment, but I said that last year about Robin, then I think there's going to have to be some roughing it at some point. Further back, so Xavier, we saw yesterday Xavier and Mikko were kind of to and fro a little bit, so it looks like Mikko's stopped for the night. Xavier also looks like he's stopped now. His dot's not faded. Normally it fades when they've been stopped for a while, but it's showing 0 miles an hour. So I imagine they're both bivvying. So effectively they're pretty close. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of to and froing as we go along. And then our kind of chasers have all closed up a little bit. Again, it's a case of kind of who's riding and who's not. So Felix has stopped, Megan has stopped, and Doris has stopped. But Yossi Barak, he's still going. So he's jumped ahead of Megan. So yeah, I don't know whether I don't know whether Yossi's sped up or just stopped less, or whether Megan's starting to fade a little bit. But these two, Yossi and Dries, have closed the gap on Felix and Megan. But I've seen, I think Felix posted a few things, and it was like 40 degrees, and I think the heat is starting to take its toll. It's been quite an attritional divide actually. I mean, just look at the gaps. I mean, these obviously take out these record rides, and there's big gaps the whole way through the front of the field. So yeah, I think it's been a pretty tough one. So yeah, before we get any further, just got to say thank you again to the sponsors. Everyone knows by now, if you've been watching for the last however many days, 12 days. Redshift, got really cool products like these pedal adapters, the bars, the shock stops, seat posts, all of this stuff, the grips. So yeah, really great stuff. Just want to say thank you to Redshift for their support, and there's that little discount as well if you're interested in any of their products. And Enduro bearings, again, good quality stuff, top stuff. I thoroughly recommend it. It's almost on all my bikes now, and I've never had to replace anything Enduro. So yeah, big shout out to Enduro as well. So yeah, before I sort of go over to Instagram, and it's going to have to be about Victor today. I thought we'll have a look at the leaderboard and just see some stats. So on the actual leaderboard itself, there's Victor's time. So 11 days, 8 hours, 37 minutes. So that will be the official Tour Divide record, given there was no fire diversions or reroutes or anything like that. Just some stats really. So it's 70% run time in the end, 14.2 miles an hour moving average speed, which is that's pretty quick. I think it's about a mile an hour quicker than Robin last year, and 70%. So yeah, it's quite a good balance of sleep and versus moving time. And you can see, Victor stopped more than anyone else. I think that probably just goes to show that, sleep is king if you can make it work. And, he's been able to do it. Like I said earlier in the video, you need your luck on the Tour Divide, and Victor's had his luck with the conditions, and he's strong enough to capitalize on it in terms of, getting to resupplies and stuff. So yeah, kudos to Victor for that. And you see Lawrence, he's riding pretty fast, faster than Angus, and everyone's just kind of almost settled in kind of average speed order. Mikko, again, sleeping less than the others, but riding faster. I wonder if that's going to pay off in the next couple of days as he goes across New Mexico. Felix, I mean, he can't really go too much faster because he's on that single speed, so he's kind of limited to a certain extent, especially on the flat section through Cuba, or past Cuba. So we'll see if he ends up dropping back a little bit. And yeah, everyone else fairly similar, all sort of 10 to 11 miles an hour with various amounts of sleep. So that's a bit of a look at the details, and then I guess we're going to finish up. Well, we've got to show Victor, really. I think he's the man of the moment. So over on Instagram, and that is his finish line picture. So yeah, you see, I think we talked about those little rips in his skin suit like probably 4 or 5 days ago, and they're getting bigger, and you can see the burn patches. So it's not always easy, although Victor's made it look very easy. I'm sure I know he's been suffering. We'll hear a little video, or look at a little video in a minute, but yeah, it's I'm sure that's been quite sore. But yeah, there he is at I think that's the photo that everyone wants when they start Tour Divide, and there's Victor. So yeah, and then he did.
Bon, salut à tous, c'est parti. Aujourd'hui, objectif 400 bornes jusqu'à Silver City. Il faisait un peu chaud dans la chambre. J'avais pas vu qu'il y avait une clim. J'ai été beaucoup tardé à m'endormir. J'ai repoussé le réveil. Et quand j'ai mis la clim, du coup, ça allait mieux. Mais ça allait tellement bien que j'ai pas trop entendu le réveil. Je pense que j'ai un peu trop dormi. Je m'inquiète jamais quand je oversleep. C'est souvent positif. C'est que le corps en a besoin. C'est positif pour la suite parce que le sommeil est peut-être plus qualitatif et le corps est régénéré. Donc voilà, on continue comme ça. Bon, waouh, très grosse chaleur aujourd'hui et du dénivelé de ouf là sur la fin. Il y a que de la montée, que de la descente, ça avance pas du tout. J'ai eu très peu d'eau. Je suis allé me ravitailler dans une fontaine. Je me suis arrêté quand même un petit peu parce que la chaleur là elle pique. Allez, il reste environ 90 km là jusqu'à Silver City, mais ça va être long.
So that was Victor, and obviously eventually he did just sort of ride through the night. It looks like had a bit of a big resupply and a sit down in Silver City, and solid ride. And I mean, well, can't really say more than that. And then I think, as I said earlier, I mean the race is still going on. Of course, like Victor's finished. It feels like, I mean, I've lost track of my timings out in terms of doing these daily updates. It just seems to be going so quick with Victor's pace. But Lawrence and Angus. I wouldn't say they're in a battle. I think they seem to be fairly fixed with their timings. But I've got a couple of voice notes which came in a little after I recorded yesterday, which gives some nice kind of insight as to what's going on there. So let's start with Lawrence first. So I kind of thought he might have stayed in a hotel in Cuba yesterday, but it's never that simple. So this is what happened to Lawrence yesterday.
Yo, bud. The recap of today. Maybe the last 2 days. Yesterday afternoon started with me the idea to somehow make it to Cuba. Well, a lot of rides fell in that perspective. Also my ride from 2 years ago, you know. I know Lachlan did it once, but he didn't do the trail. Anyway, I was early in, that's why I left early in Sargents. I was early in Platoro, but I continued. Just did dirt road camping for 3.5 hours and continued. That Continental Divide Trail went pretty smooth, man, compared to 2 years ago where I was depressed over there and I was questioning why I did this and blah, blah, blah. Now I knew what was coming and just rode through it. I was pretty solid towards the Albikuya village. I had a nice resupply. There the problem started with the hotel. I booked it through Booking, but the payment didn't came through. Then I had hotels.com. Payment came through. But then I wanted to phone them because I was coming in after 9, you know. And that number didn't work and blah, blah, blah. So I panicked a bit. And of course, American friends, they offered help. We can book it or we can do the credit card. And then I was like, okay, I better beef you out again than cheat. So here am I in the pit toilet of Cuba's playground. All the toilets are closed, but I'm laying underneath a nice roof. Had to backtrack on the course a little bit. I also found a 24-hour gas station, so just had dinner there. And we'll go there for breakfast too. It's warm, it's light. You know, all the restrooms, all those basic things you don't have when you dirt camp on the road like last night. So actually it's pretty much a big upgrade already compared to last night, but to be honest, I aimed for the Frontier Motel. Only they didn't accept me or something. I don't know why. Anyway, it was a big push. I'm a little bit spent. Time for bed.
So that was Lawrence, and that's kind of the reality when you're not strong, well, not even not strong enough, but when the timing gets out of sync. You know, he said he slept last night out in the wild somewhere, and even though he got to Cuba, he wasn't able to kind of secure a hotel for whatever reason, so ended up bivvying outside under the shelter next to a toilet. So yeah, that's the glamour of the Tour Divide or lack of. So yeah, it sounds like he's feeling it, but I think everyone is. I think all the messages from everyone, even those little videos from Victor on his Instagram over the last few days, you know, everyone's just getting worn down by it. So before I go, we've just got a nice little voice note from Angus. So yeah, let's have a little update from Angus.
Hey Josh, hope you're all well with you. I am under the Golden Arches in Cuba. Ultimately all is well, but my throat and lung situation is getting pretty bad. So I'm officially in sort of walk it in mode. So still riding hard if I can, but that's stopping lots, and I got 6 hours sleep last night. So yeah, we'll just make that happen. See if we can get done in a couple of days, see if we can still finish under Mike's time. So that'd be really cool. Anyway, bye for now.
So again, that's Angus. He's in the McDonald's in Cuba, which I think probably most people end up there at some point, mainly because it's air conditioned in there, and you can get like the ice creams and stuff, even if you don't want a full meal. So that's life on the Tour Divide at the moment. So yeah, congratulations to Victor. Pretty amazing ride, to be honest. And I'll be back. I'll keep on going for 3 or 4 days. See everyone in sort of top 10 or so home. So I guess see you again tomorrow for another update.